What is one unwritten rule you think everyone should know and follow? What the heckester Cav says, do not swipe left or right if someone shows you a photo on their phone. Long Live Lazarus says, don't propose at someone else's wedding. Matt Cruz says, don't start drama at a funeral. Cal Daraprime Pony Club says, if someone tells you they have cancer, don't tell them about someone else you know who had cancer or died of cancer, unless they ask you. M3GG Sandbacon says, don't leave your shopping cart in the middle of the grocery aisle. Kaig says, if you're borrowing it for a third time, you need one of your own. SAS1013 says, be kind to people that are working. Food staff, medical staff, etc. Don't take your bad day out on someone else. Untakenu says, you can be wrong. It isn't a bad thing, either. And when you are wrong, acknowledge it, and learn from it. You don't need to dig down in your beliefs to try and comfort yourself because you can't handle not being right all the time. Ignobila Stevens says, keep toilet cubicles tidy after using them. It amazes me how people can cause utter devastation in there and then walk away. Public membership says, never pass up the chance to take a shit. Patrick the Vieira Yep says, don't look through the fucking gap of bathroom stalls. Simply Psyched says, if you borrow someone's car, fill up the tank before you return it. Med Schoolgirl Madison says, don't put your music on speakers when in a public space. It's not like everyone wants the same genre or was in the mood for music. Get your headphones. Edit, thank you kind stranger, it's my early cake day treat. Havu says, if you have to cancel on a friend, it should be your responsibility to reschedule. DPCAXX says, turn on your headlights when it's snowing. I'm talking to you asshole with the white truck. Nick SG983 says, not pointing out flaws in someone's physical appearance. Hales X says, be kind to strangers even if you're having a hard time. Tiekashu says, the probability of meeting someone you know increases dramatically when you are with someone you don't want to be seen with. Don't do it. Why Blame says, put your damn phone away long enough to drive from point A to point B, FFS. BethBooks07 says, give people their personal space. Not everyone wants to snuggle a stranger. Deleted says, Gelisht. PR1 Sunna 6,655,321 says, be kind to strangers, because the world is a cruel place, and you never know what other have been through. That Krusty Krapizza says, if someone asks you a question, finish what you're saying with, what about you? Enjoy noticing how many people actually don't do this. Trump Molestegid says, on an airplane, window seat gets the window, aisle seat gets a little extra leg room, middle gets both armrests. Essexel says, leave it in a better condition than you found it. Kona 3704 says, don't dig straight down. YHS Law 1 says, don't use the urinal in your dream. You'll thank me later. Edit, thanks for Silver Fam. Must Bethamed says, don't talk to anyone at the urinal. Spotty Boy says, I live by this rule I made after thinking about things late at night. If someone does something that makes them happy and confident. If it doesn't hurt them or anyone else, animals included. Then leave them alone, let them do that thing. Let them be happy. And #X200B. M31K says, don't let friends drive drunk. Maybe offer to get an Uber or something for strangers, too, if you can. Another social outcast says, don't ask for something if the person only has one left, gum, cigarette, piece of cake etc. Nasty015 says, chew with your mouth closed. Shocks me how many adults I see chewing with their mouth open. Chompy Nuggets says, pee first. No matter what it is, pee first. Another Refresh says, if there's space, always leave at least a 1 urinal gap between you and another fellow urinal user. John Snob says, flush. Why is it so hard? 1959 Chicagoan says, don't sweat the petty things, and don't pet the sweaty things. Zanky1 says, don't swim upstream, walk on the same side of the sidewalk that you drive on. Two Fedoras says, great, y'all ruined it. Now all of these are written. RizdaGGMD says, don't just say things like I love your baby bump to some random person. Shesquackers says, walk on the left side of the escalator, stand on the right. DM Charles says, your pee-pee hole is not suited for any sort of object. Do not stick anything in there for God's sake. Sheikh Yaramba says, let people leave the tram, train, bus before you get on. I know you want to get home, we all do. Pregnant, elderly, infirm people get a seat before you, even if have elbowed past everyone despite having just arrived at the platform, so you get your seat, especially if that seat is marked for those people. If you want to listen to music, use headphones and not your shitty phone speaker. Vaping is still considered smoking, don't do it within 3 feet or the stop platform or on the vehicle. If you are pregnant and I'm staring at my phone with my headphones in and therefore didn't notice, tell me, as opposed to standing close by sighing loudly or making a passive-aggressive comment as I leave. Or that other person didn't notice or were concerned that you might not be pregnant and it might just be your body shape. All of this will help my commute. Pravis Balua says, this one is niche, but relevant to my life. Do not vape when in a space where you are not permitted to smoke. No, they aren't comparable, but the very same people who don't want to breathe your smoke probably don't want to breathe your vape either. Common courtesy. The Wizard of Dusk says, don't masturbate on a plane. Terrorlord 1219 says, don't insult Steve Irwin. Dennis Miller 2024 says, this one is specifically for doctors. While you are feeling my testicles or penis, do not talk to me. Especially about my family, but really anything unrelated to medical stuff. I am Natatral today says, don't randomly slam on your brakes on the motorway going 100 km/h. Uninfluential Wear says, I have 2. 1. Do not wear perfume or cologne if you're getting on an airplane. 2. Do not use speakerphone or play videos on your phone without headphones in public places. Especially in public transit. Watermelon Pizza Freeze says, if the cashier checking you out doesn't seem to want to talk and they are moving fast, don't think they're rude for not being chatty. Chances are they're just one of those people who are quiet when they're just in the zone, and forcing small talk on them will break that. Also, if you walk up to an employee on a phone texting or doing whatever, give them at least a few seconds to put their phone down before flipping out and ranting about lack of professionalism, because you never know what might be going on in that person's life outside of work, and just because they're on the clock, it doesn't give you the right to demand what they were texting about. Wastaken Anyways says, FFS, be self-aware. I mean, be aware of the space you occupy, of your movements, of where you are. Don't zigzag on sidewalks, don't fill the entire width of the sidewalk. Be aware of your kid moving their arms like a helicopter. Don't stop in your tracks to check the fucking phone, walk slower, or step aside, but don't be that kind of person. And #X200B. Just be aware of your body and don't be a dummy. This applies to whole families too, and people in cars, in supermarket lanes, wherever. Volatile Jellybean says, raise your children in a loving environment, but always make sure you respect them as individuals as well. One day they'll be living their own life and might have to decide whether or not they personally want to take care of you when you're old, sick, deteriorating. Martic Muffin says, if you're going to listen to music, videos, or anything else on your phone that requires sound and isn't a phone call, either wait until you get home or invest in some headphones. Talkmuck 181 says, when driving a car, don't be nice, be predictable. People being nice leads to a shitload of accidents. Kidestructo says, one man gathers what another man spills. Don't look down upon anyone, as it could be your lot. Grateful Dead quote. Thanks Gosling says, don't pull on the seat in front of you when you're getting up on an airplane. I've virtually almost flung into the seat in front of me, because someone has grabbed the back of my seat so aggressively. Fresh Prince of Deltaco says, when out to dinner with a group, only the person who ordered the least expensive meal, combo of things can offer to split the check evenly. Slingshotma says, do not film vertically. Suddenly Satire says, I go by the modern golden rule *, try not to be an asshole, *. Ikiniki 1014 says, does it need to be said? Does it need to be said now? Does it need to be said now by me? If those are all yes, then go ahead and say it ASAP. Og Retro says, if someone tells you something they are excited about, but you have already heard about it or seen it, still act surprised, excited. They are probably showing you because they think you will enjoy it too. Thanks for watching. What would be your response? Leave it in the comments and see what the others say. Please also like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Until next time.